Fear is not normal. Okay. This is something that is important to be addressed because it's not normal. Accepting fear into your life is to accept that you are a victim of your circumstances, which absolutely is not true unless you choose it to be so. My name is Penny Chason. I'm a board certified hypnotist. I'm a retired nurse anesthetist, and I've been an entrepreneur full-time since 2019, part-time in the years before that. I am an expert in helping people to eliminate fear out of their life. And unless you are falling, you are in imminent danger of life or limb, or your brain is responding to a startle response in the moment, all fear is false. Every single bit of it. It is nothing more than something that is being created in your mind. And I know what some of you are going to say, oh no, Penny, you don't understand. This thing happened to me in the past. And I'm going to say, yes, exactly. That thing happened to you in the past. It happened to you in the past. In the moment, there may have been a legitimate and valid reason to be fearful, but that doesn't mean you have to be fearful now. Unless there is something imminently happening to you, fear is a function of our thinking. And what I see being taught is that we need to push through fear. We need to push fear down. And sometimes that fear is simply a matter of our thinking. We may have a stray, random thought pop up, and maybe we don't catch it right away. What if this joint venture doesn't go as well as I thought? And it's like, oh, well, if it doesn't go well, then this deal could fall apart. And if that deal falls apart, that's going to impact my cash flow. If my cash flow is impacted, how am I going to catch that up so I can continue to pay my team? You see what I just did there? That's all thought. It's all thinking. So if we're aware of our thoughts and we catch that initial thought, and we can stop it, great. If you find yourself fighting with your emotions, it's one thing to have a fear-based thought. It is another to experience fear. If you get into a spiral of thoughts, if you're feeling that fear, if you wake up in the morning and your day is starting out in worry, if your day is started out in fear, then there's something else there. It's beyond the random thought popping into your mind. It's all of the beliefs and the things that you bring along with you. Now, most of the clients that I work with, well, actually at this point, all of the clients that I work with, because I'm very selective in who I work with, most of my clients have had coaches, may still even be in coaching. They're engaging in meditation. They're using practices to change this. And they've gotten to a point, it's like, okay, I'm doing all these things and it's helped, but it's still there. And I'm just not down for this anymore. I don't want to experience this anymore. It's time to move on, let it go. And someone told me that you're the perfect person for this. And then I step in and I help them unravel these things within just a few short weeks. Sometimes as soon as just even the first session that we do together, we get huge gains in unraveling these fears. But these fears are erroneous. And a lot of times people don't even realize that they have fears because the fear is not showing up as a thought. The fear is showing up as, I have to keep going, I can't stop. The fear is showing up as believing you need to say yes to every event that comes your way to speak, virtual or live, that you can't take your foot off the gas at all cost. Now, in business, I recognize that our business needs to be growing every year. Our business needs to be growing, because if we're not growing, we're not adapting, we're not evolving, and stagnation is not good for a business. However, sometimes the next goal is never enough. Like as soon as you hit a goal or a milestone, rather than celebrating how far we've come and to really just like sit with that and go like, wow, yes, great. Okay. What's our next objective? Some people literally rush into the next and they rush into the next and they look at their bank accounts and they look at the numbers and they're like, oh, they use the bank account to measure their success because the bank account is an objective. Numbers don't lie, but numbers do lie. But the numbers are an objective measure of what has happened in the business. The size of the house is an objective measure of how far you've come, how much you've been able to create, what you've been able to bring into your life. But for me, the biggest measure of success is how satisfied you are with your life. How satisfied you are with your life. 72% of all entrepreneurs report that were surveyed reported that they feel mentally unwell. It's stress, it's pressure, it's fear, it's the uncertainty. When we address the beliefs and thoughts underneath the surface that aren't serving us, right? Then it's literally like taking a pressure cooker off the heat, because fear drives so many of these things. Fear can drive this always having to build the next thing. Am I going to be good enough? Will I be good enough? Will I be good enough when? It doesn't matter how much money you have in a bank account. It doesn't matter how many cars you have, how big your house is, what neighborhood you live in, where you travel to. Those things are not going to bring you happiness. They are pleasant experiences. They're enjoyable experiences, but the success on the inside is not going to come from any of that. And if you're one of the 72% of entrepreneurs that admits that they feel mentally unwell because of all this stress, this pressure, all of these things that are going on, I encourage you to look at going subconscious so that you can address the day-to-day in your business from a clean slate. When you're carrying all the fears and the emotion of the experiences of the past into your business every day, you are slowing yourself down. You are wearing yourself down mentally. And while it may not be overtly visible in your business, it is in some businesses, but while it may not be overtly visible in your business, it is definitely impacting your performance. It is impacting how you interact with your team. It is impacting your vision for the business. It is impacting how fast or slow you say, go, stop, change directions, let's pivot. Fear, you don't have to live with it. It is not a badge of honor. And I've started moving away from even people who have some really great information to share with the world. When they are using fear to motivate the people who follow them, I'm pulling back away from those people. I don't have room for fear in my life, and you don't have room for fear in your life or in your business either. You need clarity. You need focus. You need to know you can trust yourself. And you need to know that even if you zig or you zag, whatever the outcome is, it's not a reflection of whether or not you're good enough. It just means you need to adapt what you're doing. Period. End of discussion. I would love to know your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. If you're uncertain if what you're dealing with has anything to do with fear or any other hidden belief or story, let's do an identity blueprint call. Okay. Just there's a link below to book a call with me. It's half an hour. Let's chat. I promise you will walk away with some value. And if you feel like you want my assistance, you can let me know and we can talk about what that looks like. Catch you next time.